A few weeks back, there was an AI summit right here in India, and it grabbed attention due to all the possible wrong reasons. From a university claiming a Chinese robot to be their own, to CEOs of OpenAI and Anthropic having a bit of an unfriendly moment on stage. Attendees had a long walk to the summit. A CEO missed the summit due to traffic mismanagement, and we even had a shirtless protest. So basically, it was a mix masala kind of entertainment, and everything was going viral, except the main hero of the event, artificial intelligence itself. So I thought, why not make a video surrounding this topic where today I'll discuss some of the work that Indian companies are doing in the field of AI. So stay tuned till the end of this video with your one and only host, Captain Logic. Namaste and welcome back to the channel. According to the official government page, more than $200 billion in AI-related investments have been pledged so far. Now on paper that sounds good, but when you look a little closer, two companies alone, Reliance Industries and Adani Group, account for nearly 90% of those commitments. Which raises a natural question, were representatives from all the other global tech giants there just for enjoying some chai and samosa?
Chai, please. I love samosas.
I mean, realistically speaking, we probably didn't need a summit just to get investment commitments from our own domestic companies. Maybe the other companies are still in their soch ke batate hain phase. Anyway, many of these investments could materialize over the coming years, so we will have to wait and see how things actually unfold. The government's India AI mission has added 20,000 additional GPUs, bringing the total pool to around 58,000 high-end GPUs dedicated for AI research and development. These GPUs are available at subsidized cost to startups, students, and researchers. Basically, you can train or do inference test on high-grade GPUs for less than $1 per hour. Now let's move on to see what the companies that attended the summit have in their AI space. One of the biggest name, Reliance Industries, presented a fully AI-generated animated sequence of the Mahabharata under their Geo digital platform, signaling their interest in entering the AI-driven digital content creation space. I think I don't need to say much on that. The online community has already had quite a lot to say about it. If unsatisfied with the reviews, you might even try to watch yourself on Geo Hotstar. Another product they have is GeoFrame, an AI-enabled smart glass concept somewhat similar to Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. Since it's not yet available in the market, it's difficult to evaluate how capable it actually is in the real-world usage. But speaking for Meta, it is a market leader at the moment, just like DJI is for drones. And of course, Meta would be eyeing for Indian market. The only other card that Geo might play would be offering AI glasses at a much lower price. Reliance also offers Geo AI smart home solutions. Personally, I remain a bit skeptical about how much real AI is involved in many consumer AI products today. In some cases, the term AI is used more as a marketing layer on top of existing smart home automation systems. Of course, if anybody watching this video is a consumer of Geo AI smart home solutions, feel free to share your experience in the comment section and I'll be glad to hear a real user feedback. Another reveal was Adverb humanoid robot developed by Adverb Technologies, a robotics company backed by Reliance Industries. The robot is aimed to work in a warehouse kind of an environment, but at its current stage performance and funding, it raises a lot of questions. Compared with the level of humanoid robotics development happening globally, especially with companies in China pushing the boundaries, the motion and task execution still appear relatively slow and less fluid. If this robot model takes significantly longer to complete warehouse tasks, how practical is the claim that it will replace human workers in these environments? Stage demos and marketing videos are a different thing, but working in a real life environment is a totally different challenge. Even companies like Tesla and Boston Dynamics, they showcase remarkable robotics capabilities, yet large-scale deployment of humanoid robots to external customers is still very limited. Meanwhile, several companies in China have already started deploying robots in factories and public places. Moving to the next exhibitor, Wipro. One of the most interesting areas they showcased was AI in healthcare. For example, AI models can now convert MRI scans into CT scan-like images. That means in some cases, patients may not need to undergo an additional CT scan. Apart from saving time and money, this is also beneficial because CT scans involve radiation, while MRI is a non-invasive imaging method. Another area gaining attention is AI assisted surgery, and according to Wipro's CTO at the exhibition, the first practical phase is not autonomous surgery but remote diagnosis and clinical support, where AI systems summarize patient reports so that doctors at remote locations can evaluate them more efficiently. Fully autonomous AI surgery is still considered risky today, but it is definitely something industry would be researching. In India right now, there have been cases of remote telesurgery, but these were human assisted, controlled robotic procedures performed over telecom networks and not fully autonomous systems. In the future, we might see systems where a remote doctor is guiding a robotic surgery using voice commands and real time feedbacks. And then, obviously, more further down the lane, autonomous surgery would be a new normal. But when human lives are involved, you have to take in extra care and responsibility. Beyond healthcare, Wipro is also working with NVIDIA to scale AI solutions through its Vega agentic platform. One interesting case study that I came across was an AI assistant developed for Thailand tourism. In that system, Vega first extracts metadata from the tourism website, then using NVIDIA NeMo, synthetic question answer datasets are generated based on that information, and these synthetic datasets are then used to train the model. Vega also handles query processing and response generation. So overall, Wipro's focus seems to be on enterprise AI platforms and practical applications, especially in areas like healthcare and digital services. With that, let's move on to the next exhibitor, Tech Mahindra. Similar to what we saw with Wipro, Tech Mahindra is also collaborating with NVIDIA to build an education focused large language model with Hindi placed at the center of the system. The model is expected to be around 8 billion parameters, and once again, NVIDIA NeMo is being used for synthetic data generation to strengthen the training dataset. Idea is to support education and learning tools for students across the Hindi speaking belt of India. Tech Mahindra also introduced its own agentic AI platform called Orion, and this reveals an interesting trend. So, right now, almost every major IT service company is trying to build its own AI environment or AI platform ecosystem. Next, we have Bharti Airtel, and being a telecom company, their focus was quite practical, using AI to fight spam and digital fraud, which has become a serious issue in today's connected world. Their system targets scams related to OTP fraud, UPI scams, suspicious WhatsApp links, and spam calls. One interesting feature that they have recently started to roll out is detecting when a user receives a banking OTP while already on a call. In such cases, the system can trigger a fraud alert since OTPs are now commonly used for deliveries, payments, and many other online services, making them an easy target for scammers. Alright, let's talk about NPCI or National Payments Corporation of India, the organization behind Unified Payments Interface or your favorite UPI. NPCI wanted to build an AI assistant for user support within the payment ecosystem, and initially, obviously, they experimented with the open source model, Mistral AI, but they quickly ran into a problem. A general purpose language model doesn't fully understand the specific jargon and workflows of India's digital payment ecosystem. So the team had to adapt the system using transfer learning on Indian financial data sets combined with synthetic question answer data. After that, they applied supervised fine tuning to make the assistant more accurate for real user queries. According to their presentation, system achieved around 75% accuracy, which is better when compared to using the base Mistral model. Synthetic data was used carefully because of data security concerns, and the team first analyzed real user complaints across more than 500 categories, and something interesting appeared. Most users don't communicate in perfect English or Hindi. Instead, they use Hinglish, which is a mix of Hindi and English put together. So, by studying these patterns and generating synthetic data sets, NPCI managed to convert a domain specific challenge into an opportunity to build a more localized AI system. It's still early days, but it's definitely a promising start. There were several other Indian exhibitors at the summit, companies like Gnani.ai, BharatGen, PhonePe with its natural language search, and projects like Shishumapan. But considering the time, let's talk about one last exhibitor that has been getting a lot of attention lately, Sarvam AI. Sarvam's goal is quite ambitious, building a full stack AI ecosystem in India. On the hardware side, if you look at the India AI Mission GPU allocation list, Sarvam has received one of the largest allocations of compute resources, including NVIDIA H100 SXM GPUs, with infrastructure support from Yota Data Services for data center capacity, which is again an Indian based company. On the software side, Sarvam is focusing on conversational AI for Indian languages. I tried one of their conversational agents, a cart recovery agent, and from my testing, it handled the convo quite well.
नमस्ते, सर्वम मार्ट से सिमरन बोल रही हूँ। क्या मैं आपसे 2 मिनट बात कर सकती हूँ?
जी, जी, बताइए।
आपने सर्वम मार्ट पर आईफ़ोन 17 प्रो अपने कार्ट में ऐड किया था, लेकिन परचेज़ कंप्लीट नहीं किया। क्या आप
हाँ,
अभी उसे खरीदना चाहेंगे? उस पर
नहीं,
एक लिमिटेड स्टॉक
can
मिलता
can
है
you
और
can you
साथ ही
switch into English? That would be better for me to understand.
ऑलराइट, आई हैव स्विच्ड टू इंग्लिश फॉर यू। So, as I was saying, you get a flat 10% off on the iPhone 17 Pro. This
Can you
offer
can
is
you
for a
switch into ગુજરાતી? તમે ગુજરાતીમાં વાર્તા કરી શકો છો?
ચોક્કસ. મેં ગુજરાતીમાં સ્વિચ કરી દીધું છે. તો હું કહી રહી હતી કે iPhone 17 Pro પર તમને ફ્લેટ 10% ઓફ મળે છે અને સાથે નો કોસ્ટ
ના, ના,
EMI નો
મને નથી જોતું. It could move between multiple languages in real time while still understanding the intent of the conversation. They also have a text to speech model called Bulbul, which competes with platforms like 11 Labs.
भारत की सुबह का नजारा ही कुछ और होता है.
भारत की सुबह का नजारा ही कुछ और होता है.
India is a land of a billion stories.
11 Labs is extremely strong globally, but regional language voice models are still limited. Hindi has improved a lot, but many other Indian languages still have fewer voice options. That's exactly where region focused AI systems can make a difference by building tools specifically for local users. If you have been following this channel for a while, you might remember I made a video testing OpenAI Whisper for speech to text using ESP32 and a MEMS microphone setup. Though I couldn't find an equivalent smaller Servam offline ASR model that could run on CPU, but when I compared Whisper with Servam speech model Saras Online, Servam actually performed better for several Indian regional languages, while still performing well in English. This isn't surprising. Whisper research paper itself mentioned that majority of its training data was English centric, while many other languages, including several Indian languages, had smaller dataset available. And that is why you can also see the word error rate in the OpenAI Whisper models is much higher for Indian based languages. Since Servum's model are trained heavily on Indian linguistic datasets, they naturally perform better in those contexts. We also get features like dubbing
ये भी कड़क शॉट है आपन कड़क शॉट छे
and OCR document parsing. Recently, on the 6th of this month, Servam actually open sourced both models, and the 30 billion model powers Samvad, the conversational AI system that we were talking about a few moments back. There are real case deployment conversations available between actual humans and this AI to look into. The 105 billion model powers Indus, which is designed for reasoning and complex workflows, entering the same category as systems from companies like OpenAI, Google, and Mistral AI. Of course, Servum's goal right now is not to compete head to head with global AI giants. Instead, the focus seems to be on building strong AI infrastructure and delivering AI capabilities in Indian languages. These models have now been made available on Hugging Face, and interestingly, the discussion forums are already active. In fact, someone has already posted a video showing the 30 billion model running on their own system, which is always a good sign when the community starts experimenting with a model this quickly. Architecturally speaking, the model follows a mixture of experts approach, and this design is generally known to be more memory efficient and faster. Considering the infrastructure constraints that most organizations operate under, that is actually a practical design choice. But what really makes Servam interesting is that it has completed all three stages of LLM training from scratch here in India. So, this isn't just transfer learning on top of an existing model, the neural network weights are trained from the ground up. Also, quick note, it's not fully open source, it's more of an open weights model since the training pipeline isn't public. Most global models are optimized for English. So, when you use languages like Hindi, they break words into many tokens. Now, because Servam is trained specifically for Indian languages, it can represent the same sentence using fewer tokens, which means for the same context window length, you can now actually input more content. That's a big deal. So, the two key improvements are better tokenization for Indic languages and better performance on low resource languages like Dogri or Mathili. Realistically, we cannot expect a company on day one to challenge organizations that have had years of head start and billions in investment. But what matters is that the ecosystem is starting to take shape. So, when you step back and look at the bigger picture, you can see some momentum that is going on in the Indian AI ecosystem right now. And over time, it will accelerate even further. But the growth of AI would not only depend on the political marketing or only the government schemes, but it will be dependent on engineers, researchers, startups, and collaborations between companies together. So that brings us to the end of our tech talk. India is not really in the global AI race yet. It is still preparing to enter it. But honestly, the race itself doesn't matter. What matters more is technical sovereignty. And a country like India cannot be left behind in a global technological revolution like artificial intelligence. Hope you liked this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would like to keep this discussion open between us and would like to hear different perspectives on this topic. Maybe in a future video we can also discuss about other fields that need to develop for a stronger AI based ecosystem to be established in our country. Until then, this is your host Captain Logic, landing the tech flight for today's topic. Over and out.